Today we're going to make an ear of ornamental corn. We're going to make the top part, that's called the husk, and all the little pieces of corn. First we're going to use a pencil, but I'm going to use a pen so that you can see what I'm drawing easy. Now the shape of our piece of corn, or our ear of corn, is kind of a tall oval. So I'm going to go from the top all the way down the bottom, but I'm not going to go from the top of the page because I want to leave a little bit of space for the husks that we're going to be drawing. Now the husks are just simply a couple of lines. Go ahead and draw some curvy lines all the way off from the top. You can also draw some short ones that look like this. Now let's draw all those kernels. We're going to start with some vertical lines, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 depending on how big your oval is. And then we'll fill from the top to the bottom with horizontal lines. This is going to make a bunch of little squares and rectangles. When we actually take a look at the kernels though, they're not squares or rectangles. In fact, they're circles. So we're going to take our oil pastel, probably a black one, and we'll come back to the kernels in a moment. To start out with, let's get started with the top, the husks. I'm just drawing on top of the lines that I've already created, so I'm outlining them with the oil pastel. Now here's where we make those kernels round. I'm going to draw a circle inside every single rectangle or square that I had created. Maybe it'll take a couple of circles in the same spot to really fill up the space. You'll repeat these circles all the way from the top, all the way down to the very bottom, so that it looks nice and finished like this one. Now we're going to use our warm colors to fill in the corn and the husks. We're going to use both red and yellow, and we know that if they mix, they make orange. These 3 colors are our warm colors. I'm going to use a brush, but I need to make sure that I'm very kind to Mr. Brush. Gentle to his hair, don't give him a headache like that. Make sure that you're very, very gentle with the bristles when you're painting. So I'm going to get started with some yellow, and I can put that in both the kernels and I'm going to put it in the husks. Notice that I'm adding my yellow in some kernels but not all. I'm going to do the same thing in the husks. I'll add the yellow in some husks but not all of them. Then I can go and grab some red. In some of my spaces, I'm going to use just red, but sometimes I'm going to put that red in with the yellow. That's when we're going to see that mixture of orange. It'll be really fun to see how many different warm colors we create with just using red and yellow. We're going to fill every single kernel and every single husk with our warm colors. Fill every single husk and every kernel with warm colors. It will look something like this. Now we're going to add some cool colors into the background. Cool colors like blue, green, and purple. What we'll do is do a lot of mixing as we're adding these colors in. So I'm going to start painting on the outside of the corn and the husk. And I'll blend my purple and blues together, my greens and blues together, as I'm painting. It'll make kind of a smudged look. The entire background will be filled with cool colors. Keep painting until your entire background is filled up. When you are all done, it will look something like this.